Supernatural British Columbia. It is British Columbia's slogan, and it is used after every promotional video advertising Vancouver and BC as a transformative place to experience true nature. But how has Vancouver managed to uphold this image of a supernatural place to go?
Tourist attractions that connect people to nature have been around since Vancouver was founded. Today, places like Capilano Suspension Bridge are world-renowned attractions visited by millions each year, and it isn't alone. Grouse Mountain, Botanical Gardens, the Seawall, and so many parks I can hardly count. Vancouver is full of attractions connected to nature.
All these attractions have one thing in common. They help connect and give a new perspective on Vancouver's environment.
Are you a local or a tourist?
Tourist.
Tourist? Where are you guys from?
I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I'm from Los Angeles.
Why did you come to Capilano today?
We're on our spring break actually, so we wanted to just kind of like look at what was kind of like nature-y around here, looking at hikes and just the really cool trees. There's not very many trees like this in Tucson.
The cliff walk gets you closer to the rocky edge. The treetops adventure lets visitors walk among the leaves, and the suspension bridge lets you take in the entire canyon. Each of these attractions let people see nature from an entirely new perspective. Each is an awe-inspiring and memorable experience, and for many people, creates a greater sense of connection to the land.
Are you a local or a tourist?
I'm a tourist.
And where are you from?
I'm from London, Ontario.
So why did you come to Capilano today?
Well, I'm thinking of moving to Vancouver, so I kind of want to experience like the whole city. So I thought this has to be like a go-to spot.
What have you gotten out of this experience?
Honestly, a lot of like greeneries. I've never seen this much before, and a lot of like lights and different architects in Vancouver too. Amazing. It's just like a vibe, you know? Like the air is actually a lot fresher here, that's for sure.
Capilano Suspension Bridge also uses education to influence people's perception of what Vancouver is all about. At Capilano Suspension Bridge, there are a number of informational panels that talk about the surrounding nature and local Indigenous culture. Tourists coming to Capilano Suspension Bridge will learn about the sustainable forest practices and experience viewing some of the oldest trees in Vancouver. They can also learn about the rich history of local Indigenous culture. By deciding what information to provide to visitors, Capilano Suspension Bridge can control what they want visitors to learn. Instead of seeing the history of cultural genocide, you see the rich culture of the First Nations people. And instead of seeing old-growth logging, you can marvel at the 250-year-old Douglas firs remaining. By creating attractions that educate, Capilano Suspension Bridge is able to greatly influence people's perception of Vancouver and shine a light on what makes Vancouver unique while hiding the darker truths of our history.
The tourist industry in Canada utilizes Canadian stereotypes and experiences provided by the natural environment in order to create a monetized experience for their own profit. Although these experiences can provide educational opportunities about the local nature and culture, a majority of it is based off a stereotype that Canada's tourist industry leans into to sell an idea of what it is to be Canadian.
Overall, Vancouver uses a multitude of different techniques to persuade visitors into believing that nature is what British Columbia is all about. Vancouver's unique landscape and memorable views lets visitors see nature from a new perspective they have never seen before. Through educational panels, tourist attractions like Capilano Suspension Bridge can point out the best that Vancouver has to offer, while drawing attention away from the less idealized parts of our history. And by utilizing Canadian stereotypes, gift shops are able to monetize the entire experience. All of this comes together to create the perception that Vancouver is a supernatural place to go.